thanks for tuning in to the Stained Arrow Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Pennycuff, and our other host is Dalton Owenby. Just two former college football players and men of faith that love our families and have a huge passion for hunting and fishing in the outdoors. Welcome back to another episode, guys. This week, we're going to veer off a little bit of the elk train, but don't worry, I'm going to stick to that elk train probably throughout the summer. We'll be doing a combination between elk and deer hunting, but for the last year, I've been really preparing for elk hunting, so that's going to be a large part of my focus throughout this summer and throughout the majority of these episodes leading up to September. But I got some really good feedback from some people really close to me about the podcast, and what I was told was that I should probably go into some of my background, where I'm from, like, what I do, why I have such a love and a passion for the outdoors. So, with that being said, my name is Elmer Chase Pennycuff. I'm named after my dad, and my dad was named after his uncle. And first and foremost, I'm a born-again Christian, and I attribute that to my Lord, my Master, and my Savior, Jesus Christ. This platform is for me to give the gospel through hunting and fishing in the outdoors. And with that being said, if you guys ever have any questions about your salvation, just DM me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll take the Bible and we'll have a conversation. We can share back and forth, and I can show you in the Bible that without a doubt you can spend your eternity with Jesus. I'll show you how you can have God's grace and how you can have righteousness in His eyes. But anyways, as a young boy, my dad would take me in the woods, take me with him. I have fond memories of dove hunting and going on scouting trips with my dad, walking around the woods, probably him carrying me around the woods when I was real little. But when I was little, I had basically two dreams, football and hunting. Pop, I just want to let you know I love you so much, and I'm so appreciative and thankful that you instilled in me my love and passion for hunting and the outdoors, and I will forever be grateful to you, Dad. As a kid, my nights were usually filled with watching the North American hunting videos. My dad had every one of the VHS movie tapes, and I would literally just watch them over and over and over as a kid. Every night I put in one of them VHS tapes, and that's what I would fall asleep to. I remember them. They had them old brown cases with the North American Hunting Club on them, and I loved them. Some of those are probably to this day my favorite hunts. I'll never forget one of the archery Kodiak Island bear hunts. I love that one. This dude snuck in so close to this big giant bear and killed it with his bow. I guess I kind of formulated my passion for my dad taking me out and then watching those videos, and I still remember watching a lot of the hunting VHS tapes. My dad had what do they call the tree lounge? My dad had a tree lounge when I was younger, and he had all those tree lounge videos with the old man and what's the lady's name, Margaret. And one of my favorite ones was them going to Moonshine Island, and she was just killing giant bucks out there. And she went in this club, I guess in Georgia, this club, deer hunting club. And in the video, they're all talking about how she ain't gonna kill nothing or whatever, and she goes out there and is just smacking giant bucks. And I love those videos. And then, as I got a little bit older, playing football. I played football since I was 5 years old. I'm 30 now. I haven't played in a few years. I didn't make it in the league. A bunch of my friends did, though. One of my really good friends, I might try to get him on the podcast. His name's Josh Walker. Matter of fact, go check out his Instagram. It's High Country Jaywalk. He has got some fantastic, great content, and he's going to be on some really good podcasts here coming up lately. He's well, I can't really say which ones he's going to be on. I don't know if that's public knowledge yet, but he's going to be on some big podcasts. But yeah, I played football as a kid. Uh, I played in little league. Then I played in middle school. I played in high school, and I was fortunate enough to go play in college. I played at Middle Tennessee State University. That's where I formulated a lot of like really, really strong relationships. One of my best friend come out of college. He was one of my teammates. And Josh Walker, he's one of my really, really, really good friends. One of my lifelong friends, and he's a relationship I had in college. We hunted together a little bit. I took him out to my grandma's farm, and we hunted out there. And he lives in Colorado and elk hunts and mule deer hunts and turkey hunts and does all that now. But yeah, my hunting journey started as a young guy. During my younger years, I got to hunt quite a bit with my dad. And then middle school, I hunted a little bit, and then high school is where I got the chance to do some hunting on my own, really. But it was only on like my break times from football. So we would have dead period in high school, or not really a dead period, but it would be like our off weeks. So like when we would have a bye week in high school, I would have a whole week off of football. We didn't have practice or anything. And I remember one year I almost killed a really big buck, but it was because I spent pretty much 8 hours a day in the woods every day for that week. And I about had one opportunity at a deer. I ended up not getting a shot at that deer, but it is what it is. I enjoy my time out in the outdoors. And as I've gotten older, when I got into college, especially my freshman year, I got redshirted. So I really got to spend a lot of time hunting my freshman year. And that's when things really went to the next level for me. And like hunting had always consumed my life. But then when I got to college, my freshman year, I realized that like, man, if there's any way that I could do this for a living, like this is what I want to do. So my mind just started working, like, and my desire was to try to make it to the NFL so that like I could so that I could fund my hunting habits. And obviously I didn't make it to the NFL, which is fine, but some way I'm going to fund my hunting habits, and I do. So throughout my sophomore year, my redshirt freshman year to my senior year, I got to do very little hunting. I won't say very little hunting. It was probably a lot to most people, but to me it wasn't very much. I kind of tried to structure my schedules around football and hunting. So each semester, the fall semesters, I would either try to schedule my classes on Tuesday and Thursday, or a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that way I had the days open, or the mornings open, so I could hunt. And then I would obviously practice on the weekends or in the afternoons, and then we'd have games on the weekends. So weekend hunting was out of the question during the fall. But yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed my college time. I didn't really party a whole lot. I didn't party at all, actually. And that was because, two reasons. I wanted to be a good football player, and I thought partying would hinder me being a good athlete. And also, partying would get in the way of my hunting. So that's really the reasons. And aside from those reasons, my relationship with Jesus, I don't feel like partying is a good testimony to the person I am and the person that I represent in Christ. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. My dad, his name is Elmer Pennycuff. My dad doesn't have a middle name, and I'm named after my dad. My dad is like my hero. And like as a kid, I always wanted to be like my dad. And I always saw my dad as like this great hunter, and like I emulated that. So my dad's had a large influence on my life. A lot of people in my family hunted. I remember as a boy, my dad and my uncles, they all used to go on these big fishing trips and stuff to Reelfoot Lake. They would leave and be gone for like 3 or 4 days at a time, and they just fished all day. And I just love that stuff. Like my stuff, my passions and my love are a little bit different than my dad's now. My dad loves to fish more than he loves to hunt, but I really have come into liking backpacking and backcountry hunting. I started to do that like as soon as my first year out of college. I planned an elk hunt, went on an elk hunt, and it was probably one of the most amazing trips that hunting trips or trips in general that I've ever been on. I don't really have words to describe how awesome it was. Like that was the first time I've ever been out west. Well, I take that back. I have been out west and I've been to Utah and stuff. When I was in college, we played a game in Utah. We played BYU, Brigham Young University. And but playing football, you don't get to experience the city or whatever. You just go play a football game. But on this elk hunt, I went to Colorado, and that was the first time that I really got to experience being in the West, in those western states. And it was truly amazing. So we planned another trip, me and my buddy. Was it 2020? Was it 22? Yeah, it was 2020. And we went out there to a different area than I hunted there originally. And it was truly amazing, and it just inspired this passion to hunt the West. So backpacking for the last year, that's what I've been doing, preparing to go hunt out west. And that's pretty much what my background has been my entire life. Hunting, fishing, camping, and the outdoors, and football. But football is over for me now. I watch it. I like watching college football. I'm not super huge on watching pro football anymore. I used to be, but it's just not hugely my thing anymore. I'll watch it some, but I got a lot of friends. I don't really like any specific team. A lot of my friends and teammates play in the NFL, so I like watching some of those guys. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. We'll have Dalton come on and do this same thing, and I might get my dad to come on here and do this too. Might get my sister and let them be a part of the podcast and part of the channel. I'll have a couple other guys that I'm trying to influence to come and be a part of this YouTube channel and this podcast. But yeah, man, y'all stay tuned. We got more coming. I might put another podcast out this week. Oh, and by the way, it's Memorial Day today. And happy Memorial Day to you guys, you families of our fallen veterans. And I just want to say a big thank you to those guys that laid down their lives so that we could have the freedom to live here in the United States, and for us to be able to do the things that we do, hunt and fish, and for us to be able to make a living and not have to worry about some of the things that other countries have to worry about. Thank you guys for listening, and that's a wrap. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. And if you like what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram and YouTube. You can go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, whatever streaming platform you listen to us on, you can follow us on there so you can stay in tune when we put new episodes out. Thanks for listening, guys, and you'll have a good day. Always remember, love God, love people, work hard, and outwork the competition.